expect the amount of crowd that we have witnessed here this morning. I was here on time, but I refused to mount the rostrum because we needed to show leadership. Our women were outside without seats, and we insisted the hall needed to be expanded for the women to have space in this room. So to me, that is a reflection of an inclusive event. If the women are outside and the men are inside seated, the program will not be balanced. And I'm happy we've been able to open here. So for women who are outside, please, unless it is out of choice, we have a space for you inside here, the same way we will have a space for you in representation. Thank you very much. You are not the only one smiling. I've seen my fathers, the kings. They are nodding and smiling. Long live the kings. It is with a sense of national duty and great optimism for the future of our nation that I welcome you to this national public hearing. We are here to engage in a foundational act of nation building, the collective reimagining and reshaping of the supreme law of our land, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Our journey as a nation has been a relentless quest for a more perfect union. It is a journey marked by the triumphs and the tribulations of forging a single national identity from a magnificent diversity of cultures, diversity of languages, diversity of history. From the colonial era, Clifford Constitution of 1922 to the current 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, each iteration of our grown-up has been a mirror reflecting our society at a point in time. Its aspirations, its anxieties, and its unresolved questions. The challenges of the 21st century demands a constitution that is not an artifact of the past, but a dynamic blueprint for the future. It must be a constitution that is not only legal, but also legitimate. One that commands the respect and allegiance of every citizen because they see their hopes, their values, and their fundamental rights reflected in its text. This is the solemn mandate of the House of Representatives Committee on Constitution Review. Since our inauguration, we have embarked on the most comprehensive, most consultative review process in Nigeria's democratic history. We have held retreats with legal scholars and technical consultants. We have convened dialogues with the judiciary, security agencies, and national women groups. We have engaged with our vibrant civil society and held zonal public hearings all through the 6 geopolitical zones of our great nation. Before us today is a compendium of 87 proposed amendment bills, each a response to the felt needs and expressed desires of the Nigerian people. They are organized around the central pillars of a modern, functional, and just society. I must clarify, as we proceed, that the items and amendment proposals before us today are not yet laws. These are, at this stage, proposals suggestions, and ideas that have emerged through one of the most inclusive and participatory exercises in Nigeria's constitutional history. Importantly, these proposals do not simply represent the agenda of the legislature. Instead, they are, first and foremost, the thought-out demands, hopes, and memoranda of the Nigerian people themselves, gathered through extensive regional dialogues and topically focused public hearings held across the nation. It is therefore essential that the process is not misconstrued. The constitutional amendment journey is designed to be transparent, participatory, and fair. These are not the fixed positions of the National Assembly, but a compilation of the aspirations and contributions of citizens from all walks of life, yet to pass through the sieving net of the National Assembly at the federal level and the pruning fork of the scrutiny of the state houses of assembly. Today, as we commence this national public hearing, we are opening the floor one last time for those who, for any reason, may have missed the regional sections. We do this to remove every excuse of not being heard, to ensure, in good faith, that the final product of this exercise belongs not to the Parliament, but is accepted by all citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also be clear that while today represents the final stage of direct public engagement in this constitutional review process, it is by no means the final day of work for this constitutional review. Rather, it marks a transition to the next phase and a return to the deliberative chambers of the Parliament, where all submissions will be critically sieved, critically refined, critically improved upon in the preparation for the momentous task of voting. We are considering extensive electoral reforms, including proposals for independent candidacy, the establishment of an electoral offences commission, and a fixed timeline for the determination of pre-election matters to ensure that the will of the people is never again subverted by legal technicalities. Thank you. We have before us both proposals on the devolution of powers, the landmark bill to move policing from exclusive to the concurrent list, enabling the creation of state and community police forces, is a direct response to the clarion call for localized solutions to our security challenges. We are tackling head-on the long-standing issue of local government autonomy. The bills before us seek to guarantee the financial and administrative independence of our local government, ensuring that development is not an abstract concept dictated from afar, but a tangible reality in our communities. Perhaps most importantly, we are confronting the systemic exclusion that has held our nation back. We are also looking at transformative bills to create reserved seats for women in our legislative houses. Thank you. This will guarantee gender balance in government appointments. I must commend. Thank you. Thank you. I must commend the visionary leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR. His renewed hope agenda has created the political will and the enabling environment for these ambitious constitutional renewal. His respect for the separation of powers and his commitment to the rule of law has been indispensable. I must pause here to mention, in the course of doing this job, the president has not interfered in any manner. He has not requested for anything in any manner. As a man who was in the legislative arm before, he believes that the independence of the legislature should be allowed to breathe so that it can reflect the wishes of the people who represent. Thank you, Mr. President. But let me be unequivocally clear. The ultimate authority for this process does not reside in the executive or the legislature alone. It resides with you, the sovereign people of Nigeria. Your voices, your memoranda, and your passionate argument have brought us to this point. And your continued engagement is crucial to see this through. Constitutional reform is a marathon, not a sprint. The bills validated here will face the rigorous scrutiny of the plenary, the complex process of harmonization with the Senate, and the final critical hurdle of approval by at least 24 states, houses of assembly. Therefore, I implore you, do not let this be the end of your participation. Hold your elected representatives accountable. Engage with your state legislators. Ensure that the reforms you champion here today are not diluted or discarded on the long road to enactment. In alignment with our commitment to transparency and accountability, the final harmonized position of the National Assembly will be made available to the public before the voting process commences. In this spirit, please permit me to pause to receive my boss, Ian Zhao Zhao, the Speaker of the 10th House of Representatives.
Ladies and gentlemen, shall we make welcome the Right Honorable Speaker of the 10th House of Representatives, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Abbas Tajuddin, GCON. Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, PhD, GCON, as he makes his way to take a seat at the high table, and we thank the Deputy Speaker, of course, for, and we ask him to please continue. Your Excellency, sir.
Thank you very much. Please, you may have your seats. It's good to give honor to whom honor is due. The final harmonized position of the National Assembly will be made available to the public before the voting process commences. In this spirit, I wish to specifically thank the governors of all the states that generously hosted the regional public hearing for their hospitality and their support. I must use Governor Hope Uzodimma as a point of contact to reach other governors, who is the chairman of the Governors Forum, the way he treated those who were around his region when we visited. And I'm sure it's like that all through the country, because without the governors, we can't get this to pass to what we want it to be. We'll thank them for all the support they have given so far. I equally extend my deepest appreciation to all members of the Constitution Review Committee whose effort and dedication have made this process possible. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria's greatness has always been forged in the crucible of dialogue. It is our unique ability to talk, to argue, to disagree, and ultimately to find a common ground that defines us. Today, let us honor that noble tradition. Let us rise above the narrow confines of ethnicity, narrow confines of religion, narrow confines of region and language, and embrace our shared destiny as Nigerians. Let us together craft a constitution that will be a legacy of unity, a constitution that will be a legacy of justice, a constitution that will be a legacy of progress for generations yet unborn, a constitution that truly reflects the indomitable spirit of our people and the boundless promise of our beloved nation. I want to thank you for listening. God bless you and bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker. I expect the women to be making more noise. He's your champion. He's your he for she. And we thank him so very much for setting the tone for what we are doing here today. I have the permission of the Deputy Speaker because of pressing engagement, and he has been here, the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency House of Representatives, Dr. Tajuddin Abbas, JCON. Your Excellency, the Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, and Chairman House Committee on Review of the Constitution, Barrister Ben Kalu, CFR, Principal Officers of the House of Representatives, Senators serving and non-serving, Honorable Members, Your Excellencies, the Governors, serving and non-serving, Your Royal Highnesses, Party Chieftains, civil society groups, top military and police officers here present, top public servants, major stakeholders, members of the diplomatic corps, our great women and youth, invited guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure to convey the goodwill and warm felicitations to the federal government of Nigeria under the leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, to this very important national public hearing on the review of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let me begin by commending the House of Representatives Committee on Constitution Review under the able chairmanship of the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, PhD, CFR, for providing this open and inclusive platform. By bringing together citizens, civil society groups, professional bodies, national institutions, political parties, and other stakeholders, the committee is giving true meaning to participatory democracy and nation building. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. It is not static, but a living document that must continually respond to the realities, aspirations, and challenges of our people. The ongoing process of its amendment provides us with yet another golden opportunity to strengthen our institutions, deepen federalism, guarantee fundamental rights, and promote justice, equity, and accountability across all spheres of national life. This engagement is particularly important as it resonates strongly with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, which seeks to enthrone good governance, inclusivity, and sustainable development. The process you are undertaking today is therefore not only about amending legal provisions. It is about giving Nigerians renewed confidence that their voices matter in shaping the future of our democracy. I urge all participants to approach this exercise with the spirit of patriotism, responsibility, and constructive dialogue. The quality of ideas generated here will go a long way in shaping the laws and institutions that will serve generations yet unborn. On behalf of the federal government, I wish the committee and all stakeholders fruitful deliberations and assure you that the outcome of this process will receive the desired and deserved attention as part of our collective quest to build a stronger, more united and prosperous Nigeria. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm truly honored to address you at this national public hearing on the review of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This occasion marks a significant moment in our democratic journey and legislative process. It crowns months of deliberate, nationwide engagement designed to ensure that Nigerians themselves shape the evolution of our supreme law. Under the capable leadership of the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, the chairman of the Constitutional Review Committee, travel across all 6 geopolitical zones, convening zonal and regional hearings that gather the hopes, concerns, and insights of our diverse population. In those engagements, Nigerians from every background spoke with clarity and passion about the future they seek. Today's forum unites those regional voices in a single national conversation. It reflects the House of Representatives' steadfast commitment to participatory governance and inclusive nation building, affirming that every Nigerian has a meaningful voice in shaping the document that defines our republic. I wish to begin by commending the committee for its diligence and inclusivity. They have demonstrated through their work that a constitutional amendment must be a listening exercise before it becomes a legislative one. The publication of the summarized compendium of bills, the online portals for feedback, the open invitations for memorandum, and the dedication with which members attended zonal sessions all demonstrate a people-driven process. I congratulate the Deputy Speaker and every member of the committee for discharging this responsibility with integrity and patriotism. I also salute all who travel from every corner of the country to participate today. From the outset of this review, the House of Representatives has pledged that we will conclude the process in a timely manner. Nigerians are wary of constitutional reforms that drag on for years, losing momentum and eroding public trust. We recognize that after the National Assembly votes on these bills, the state houses of assembly must also consider and approve them under Section 9 of the Constitution. To honor this requirement, we have set clear timelines. We intend to vote on the proposals expeditiously and to transmit them promptly to the State House of Assembly so that concurrence can be secured within the current legislative session. Reform delayed is reform denied, and Nigerians deserve clarity and closure. By acting decisively, we give states enough time to debate, to deliberate, and endorse the people's will without the pressure of electoral calendars or political distractions. I am delighted at the presence of so many women today. The reserved seats for women proposal will create additional seats in the National Assembly and state assemblies to ensure that every state and senatorial district has women's voice in lawmaking. This is not tokenism, but a constitutional mechanism to accelerate gender inclusion. until structural barriers are dismantled. Similar provisions ensure representation for persons with disabilities at the federal, state, and local levels, recognizing their right to fully participate in shaping the laws that affect their lives. Another amendment requires a minimum threshold of women in ministerial appointments to ensure gender balance. These measures will make our democracy more representative and our policies more responsive and our country more just. Recognizing traditional institutions is another important proposal. Our traditional rulers are stabilizers in their communities, mediators in conflicts, and custodians of culture. By assigning them a defined advisory and functional role, particularly in local peace building and community security collaboration, we integrate their strength into our democratic framework without undermining Republican principles. This approach acknowledges Nigeria's cultural realities and leverages them to foster national unity and stability. Honorable colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as is apparent by now, many of the proposals before the National Assembly perfectly correspond with President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, which prioritizes security, economic revitalization, inclusivity, and transparent governance. Our constitutional reform, therefore, will provide the legal chassis on which that agenda can be driven forward. By embedding these principles in our Constitution, we ensure that renewed hope is not just a slogan, but a living reality. The President has called for state policing and inclusive governance. He has championed fiscal discipline and unity in diversity. These amendments give lasting effect to those priorities and demonstrate cooperation between the legislative and executive arms for the good of our country. I call on all stakeholders gathered here, civil society organizations, professional associations, labor unions, traditional rulers, political parties, youth and women groups, the media, and every citizen to engage robustly and constructively in this hearing. Present your positions with clarity and patriotism. Offer solutions where you see challenges. Ask questions where you seek clarification. Even after today, continue to educate your communities, brief your state assemblies, and hold those accountable. Constitutional reform is a process that relies on your vigilance and your participation. Furthermore, I urge us all to conduct ourselves as patriots. Changes to the Constitution should transcend party politics, religious groups, and religious loyalties. While we may disagree on some issues, our shared goal is a Nigeria that works better for everyone. As Speaker, I pledge that we will take your contribution seriously and consider the bills with diligence, fairness, and urgency. will engage the state assemblies respectfully and transparently to secure their concurrence. We will continue to work with the executive and with you, the people, to ensure that the amendment process proceeds smoothly. On behalf of the House of Representatives, I would like to thank you for your presence, your ideas, and your commitment to Nigeria's democratic project. I challenge us to move from hearing to history, from proposals to progress, and from hope to renewal. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. May He guide our deliberation today. May He strengthen our resolve to build a nation where peace and justice shall truly.
Yes. So I want to give us an overview of what the House is doing here. Yes, first, my name is Honorable Chief Mitema Obodo. I speak for and represent Ogbeya Federal Constituency. I must, by way of preamble, say that citizens' participation is key and is one of the major yardsticks for measuring good governance. The 10th House of Representatives is presently organizing a public hearing as it's going about doing some amendments on the 1999 Constitution. Thematic areas have been outlined. Majorly it has to be with electoral reforms. It has to be with special reserved seats for women and even for the disabled, as it were, and several other thematic areas. Now, why we have to be happy with the process is that the citizens themselves are participating. They are making the Constitution for themselves. And so it is no longer a Constitution that will be turned out from the legislature or from dictates of the executive arm, but that the people themselves are speaking to the Constitution that will govern them, that will guide them. So that is the import and the importance of today's program. Thank you.
We have seen a whole lot of this kind of amendments, and most of them don't see the light of day. What do you think the 10th House is doing differently now that will make most of these recommendations?
I can assure you that the 10th House of Representatives have adopted the model. The model is to lobby the state legislators themselves. Because you know, in Nigeria we have a process. The Constitution cannot be amended and concluded at the National Assembly. It has to go down to the respective state assemblies. And 2/3 of the state assembly are required to endorse whatever that is done here for it to be legitimate. So we have adopted a model, and the model is all members of the committee, and indeed all members of the National Assembly who are in tune with what we are doing, are made to begin now to speak to their state legislators. The executive at the federal level will speak to the governors and all that. And I believe we'll do something differently. We'll have it right.
There are certain issues that people are raising now that has to do with this reserved seat. People are arguing that some state legislators, some states in some part of the country may not support this particular amendment. So what is your take on that?
Do you really think I can speak on this? We cannot preempt those states. Why do they think so? Why do they think that those states will not support the reserved seats? You see, what we are doing now is not as if we are coming to alter the existing seats, both at the national or at the state level. We are creating special reserved seats. So if a state is having 24 seats, those ones are already there. It's just to say, look, let one woman also come in and join, and that one is purely for them. All the contestants will be women. It has nothing to do with the existing seats. So why will anybody say they are opposing? I don't even want to believe that, even if you tell me that some people are saying this or saying that. I don't want to believe that they will oppose. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're supposed to know your... All right, Honorable, welcome.
Thank you.
Please, can you give us an overview of what the House of Reps is doing?
Well, I think that today's event is the accumulation of several engagements with all stakeholders. We've had sectorial engagements with the judiciary, the security operatives, even people from the civil society, women organizations, professional groups, all kinds of people that make up the Nigerian nation. And you will remember that we also went to regional and zonal public hearings, where we went to 2 states per geopolitical zone. So having concluded that, we thought that we should have a national public hearing, which is in essence a wrap-up of all that we have gathered through these processes, so that anything that is left out, people can talk about it and as well submit memorandums. So this essentially is the last opportunity for people to talk about the ongoing constitution review process.
So, what cooperation are you getting from the counterparts in the states? Because we know that without them, this process will not actually be.
Yes, certainly, because we run a federal system and the subnationals are also very strong because of their numbers and the requirements of 2/3 as stipulated by the Constitution. So from the word go, the 10th House of Representatives or the National Assembly Committee on Constitution Review decided to carry the speakers of state assemblies along. So we've always had them as represented by the Speaker of Speakers Conference in almost all of our engagements. Even today, I saw about 4 speakers who are here. So they've been part of the process more or less, and one would expect that at each turn they got back to their state assemblies and that they had briefed their members on the goings on the issues that are on the agenda. So I should hope that they are already prepared, waiting for the clean copy as will be passed by the National Assembly to actually vote on and fast-track the system. Yeah. Even in the National Assembly, I have my fears. I am in support of the bill, but I think that a lot of advocacy have been made on the outside rather than on the inside. I still hear members who are not particularly sold on the need why there should be reserved seats for women. So as one of the people who support the bill, I would also encourage promoters of that bill that they need to do a lot more work in the intervening weeks leading up to voting on this bill, because on the outside it's popular. But I can tell you that in the National Assembly, particularly the House of Representatives where I sit in and interact with my members, some people are still not quite sure why we should grant special seats to women. My pleasure.
Honorable, welcome, sir. Please, I want to hear from you. What is the summary of what the House is doing here today?
The summary is we have gone around the country. This is the grand finale of submissions. And you can see women have taken over the arena to make sure that special seat is reserved for them. Not only that amendment, issue of state creation, local government, issue of elections, that is to have all the elections in one day, instead of having National Assembly and presidential election one day, then come after 2 weeks. Many people don't go back. That's why you see the numbers in this governance is smaller to what we have in the presidential and the National Assembly elections. So these are the reasons, and I believe today is a great day for Nigeria.
Do you think that some of these recommendations, especially special seats for women and election in one way, will be supported by your colleagues at the State House of Assembly?
Well, I cannot, but me, I will support it. And I believe majority, as far as National Assembly, we may not have problem. But for the state, especially is because of culture, except there is more education, using the ulamas, the imams, the pastors to talk to the people so that it can go down to the grassroots. Because I'm of the north, I'm in northern now. I live my life in Kano State, and I know that this thing needs to be preached very well for them to understand. Because not every man can allow his wife just to go out and be doing politics. So maybe they will explain the benefit in it to them. Because if you look at the National Assembly now, it's only Borno State and Yobe that usually produce female. In most of the northern states, you don't see female legislators. So, and the way Borno is because Western education came through that side. And that is why you can see some of their women in the National Assembly. But in other states like Kano, like Katsina, like Bauchi, many other states, they don't have women in the National Assembly. So they need to use the ulamas and the imams and the pastors in the north to preach. So also in the south too, some culture too don't believe that their women should go out. So they need more work to be done.
Yes, today is the national public hearing, the climax of a public hearing before we will resolve to the complete technical session. As you are all aware, the committee has gone around the 6 geopolitical zones. We've had engagement and interactions with stakeholders, with the states, with our people at the grassroots. And today we made it a point, to recap what we have done so far as a committee. So we are happy for the turnout, and the House is impressed with the participation of Nigerians so far.
Okay, there are some bills that are contentious in this like the election the special seat for women. Do you think your colleagues in the states will adopt these recommendations?
Yes, the bills, as a matter of fact, are proposals, and proposals brought by Nigerians. They represent their feelings, they represent their aspirations and belief, and what they think the future holds for this country. So, as a parliament, we are open to every suggestion, we are open to every opinion, and at the end of the day, it is about the people of Nigeria. So after today at the technical session, we are going to look at the pros and cons and the support that these bills have gathered so far, because the essence of governance is to enthrone the happiest, to enthrone happiness for the largest population of our people. So if these proposals, are granted legislative assent, would lead to a happier nation, then you know that is exactly what the parliament is going to do. But as a matter of fact, there are proposals that many Nigerians have welcomed, as well as many Nigerians have also spoken against a few of them. That is the essence of democracy, for the people to always be heard and for the people to be carried along in the decision making of this country.
Some of your colleagues have told me here that the special seat for women bill is only popular outside the National Assembly. Some members inside, they believe that, some of them said they believe that proponents of this bill have not actually done their homework inside the National Assembly. What's your take on that?
Well, the women have engaged a very good approach this time, which is to dialogue and engage and to lobby. So I believe it is a work in progress. We cannot conclude because today's public hearing is not to pass a verdict on what is popular amongst colleagues or not. It is about listening to the people. So the final decision of Parliament will be when these bills are tabled before the committee of the whole. It is that day that we shall tell whether the bills are popular or not. But I believe that every bill that has been listed by this committee has one significant value or the other for the progress and development of our great nation. Well, I can bet you that this is totally different from everything that has been in the past. And my reason for that is the timelines which we have set, the way we have worked, the consultation that we have carried out. Remember that this committee for the first time engaged even those who would help to interpret the laws when they eventually passed. When we had our meeting with justices of the Supreme Court, justices of the Court of Appeal, and judges, and even magistrates sometime in Lagos, we have engaged the media as far as this is concerned. So from all indication, you will agree with me that yes, this is a total different package from what was obtainable in past assemblies. We are getting it right. The committee chairman, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, is equal to the task. You have seen the speed, you have seen the participation of members, and you have seen what we have been able to achieve within just a period of 2 years. So I think we are better prepared to achieve results this time around. Thank you very much.
Are you ready?
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Andrew Mamidu. I'm the country director for ActionAid Nigeria. So when you have a situation where a group of persons are disadvantaged, the first thing to do, equity demands that you first of all support those that are disadvantaged to come to a bit of level playing ground before you then allow equality to take its course. That's what we are saying here. If you look at issues of equity, women are way below the ladder in Nigeria. So equity demands that the first thing to do is to support women to come up to the podium where men are. Then we can then allow equality to take its course and play out. First of all, we have a patriarchal society. So men decide where the meeting is happening, when the meeting is happening. Men decide should those that are married, should their spouses go for such meetings or not. Men make most of those calls. So the meetings should be fair enough. That's one. The second thing is the fund. If you look at the current, where the budget, where the fund actually lies, you have majority of the men that have most of this money, that have the resources to buy a presidential ticket for 100 million naira. So it's most men that will be able to afford this. Women will not be able to afford this. So to deal with those, you have to look at the issues of campaign financing. Are we sticking to the laws, what the law says about campaign financing? We have to look at the political party. Is our political party just and equitable enough to support or help women have a good playing field in the political space? Are we looking at our society? Are we encouraging women? Are we supporting women to be able to do all that? So those two key things, or three, are key in dealing with issues of promoting women's participation in politics. My name is Dr. Andrew Mamedu. I'm the country director for ActionAid Nigeria. Thank you.
the South-South. We are here to represent women. We are here to support the bill. It is time to play. We are here to support the bill. South-South! South-South!
The Deputy Speaker ensures that the hall can be expanded to accommodate more people. We will join the SJF on the high table, and this event, we appreciate you. All our traditional rulers, from the Sulupe to the, you're all so very welcome. Honorable Justice, you are also very welcome. The military representatives, former governors, Emir Abubakar and Bingo, you're also very welcome. Coordinator, UN Women, UNDP, Ambassador Gautier Mignon of the European Union.
Honorable, you have program. Where is this? Where?
Lots of generals, Office of the National Security Advisor, Office of the Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of those who are still standing. More chairs have been gotten to ensure that our honorable members are seated. Honorable Gimba, we celebrate you. Thank you. Senator Florence Ita Giwa. Let's put our hands together for different struggles, and whenever the emancipation of people, whenever the betterment of people is in the conversation, you can be sure that Mama Bakassi, the frontline campaigner for women's rights, we see you, we welcome you, thank you. Ambassador, feel free to push for whatever you are looking for. Thank you. Dr. Maimuna Salim is the South African representative of UNDP. Again, like I said, we are seeking. Barrister Mrs. Linda Afebwa is representing the YDQ. Barrister Okechukwu Osoha is the Deputy National Legal Advisor of the People's. What are you asking for? I didn't hear you. Women in the hall, what are you asking for? When do you want to? Honorable Katasu, Igbinedion, Obuche, yesterday, and all the rest of you that have been doing great work, we see you, we thank you. Right Honorable Toby Okechukwu is the East Development Commission. Thank you so very much. Our consultants that have done amazing work to make sure that this works. Aladi Hamalai, a renowned constitutional expert, Mamman Osuman, senior advocate, Professor Nuhu Jamo, Ita Enan, all our consultants, we thank you. Matthew Ayubakoro, barrister of the you're very welcome. We're glad to have you. Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office, when I really said that all principal officers automatically should come to the high table, please. Principal officers of the National Assembly in the building, please come to the high table. So we like what you're all doing, and you're all very welcome. Honorable Zainab Gimba, Amazon, we celebrate you. Your Majesty, we thank you. Please, if there's any traditional ruler here that has not been recognized, please send us your name. We'll be sure to properly recognize you. And last, for your His Imperial Majesty Oba the King Abimbola Oluwa Day the first, Hallelujah, and King Israel. Amuna, League of Women Voters, Nigeria. I understand you are leading over 500 women here today. Irene Amuna, your women.
Solo alam no be Mustafa. Oh Allah Almighty, to direct this our noble cause, this cause of nationalism and patriotism. May Allah make us sustain. Idina Suratul Mustaqim, Suratul Ladina Hamta Alayhim, wa Mungalubi Alayhim wa Ladoli.